Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series, Ready to Love, Season 6, Episode 13, Reunion Part 1. And I'll let you tell the peoples who we're going to be talking about.
But before we get into it, we'd like to ask you to subscribe, like, share, and please send us your comments because this is an interesting group and it's the finale, so a lot of people have a lot to say. But we'll start with Sabrina, Demetrius, and Donovan. Tommy asked Demetrius whether he was surprised that Sabrina kissed him rather than Tori.
Right.
And Sabrina said that she had a conversation with Demetrius 15 minutes prior to them doing Truth and Dare. And he said that he told her he was feeling her and she wanted to send him the message that she was feeling him as well.
So Demetrius wasn't surprised, really, based on that conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
But Demetrius did admit that Tori was her guy.
And I think that caught the ladies off guard because that's what she had conveyed or intimated to the ladies.
Right, and she and Joy had a back and forth about people assuming that it would be Tori and that their assumption contributed to Tori's hurt feelings. But we all know that's not true. Sabrina should take her own actions into account. It's not someone's right, how it impacted Tori to begin with. She was responsible for that hurt that she put on Tori and no one else.
Yeah, I think she was a little reckless in how she moved that way in that scenario by not considering Tori a little bit more than she did.
She said after the fact that maybe she should have taken the 3 shots. It is what it is. Later on, we have a discussion with Demetrius talking about how important his family is to him and that he conveyed that to Sabrina. So he was surprised. In fact, his words were, it stung that she did not want to meet his mother.
And her response to him about that was, I think from a prior episode, that she's been raised in a family that only meets where you only meet parents if you're ready to get married or engaged or something like that, right?
But that was some BS, and here's why. Sabrina admitted that one of the reasons why she was upset was that Demetrius was contacted by Donovan, who told Demetrius that he and Sabrina had kissed multiple times. And Demetrius was surprised because Sabrina didn't give him that information. Donovan was the one who gave him that information. And Sabrina said that instead of talking to her, he spoke to his mother. Demetrius spoke to his mother. So she probably, in all likelihood, was embarrassed to meet his mother because Demetrius had already told his mother that in the show with all these dates, she was dating another man who they had kissed multiple times. So that story she created about her father was BS. The real core of her reasoning not to meet the mother is because she felt badly that Demetrius knew about the kiss because Donovan was the one to tell him, and Demetrius even said that he expected Sabrina to tell him that she kissed Donovan.
Her conscience was acting on her as far as I'm concerned because she knew she should have done that.
And they were conversing and getting to know each other and what have you. So Demetrius thought that they were along the pathway of getting together while she had something else going on the side with Donovan.
She had her own agenda.
And if we can remember when they actually met, Sabrina and Donovan, how salty Sabrina was. She talked about his dirty fingernails and he's acting like a man baby. Donovan told her that she has not treated him well or Demetrius. And that's what he was talking about. They had secrets between them. And when Donovan decided that she was not trustworthy because that's what he said.
He went a different direction, didn't he?
He went a different direction
Yes,
with Carmen.
with-
That's why we call her Miss Red Flags.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only is she's a moving target, which she displayed at the reunion in answering questions, you couldn't nail it down and it was always someone else's fault.
Yes.
She was deceitful in trying to hide information from Demetrius, who she claimed she
What's her strongest connection?
and she wanted him to be clear, and she wanted him to be
Move with a purpose and
move
all
with
that.
a purpose
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what have you, and
Yeah,
to
yeah.
claim her. And she's having a side piece.
Be more intentional about
Be more intentional and all that language.
All that foolishness.
And she had a side thing going on with
Right,
Donovan because
right.
he said she acted differently
Right.
with him than when she was Demetrius. And Donovan was the one who was pointing out to the audience that when they were at the retreat, how she was feeding Demetrius and he was watching this, and he knew how deceitful and dishonest with her emotions and words and feelings this woman was being.
Yeah, it was just something where I think Donovan got fed up, and so he just made sure that moving forward, once he got to that point, he had a plan to make sure that Demetrius knew what had happened, because he had no ill will towards Demetrius.
Now, do you
as part of
think
the process.
do you think it's a good idea for a man or a woman to tell the other person what they know about the other person, or you think that he should have kept that secret?
Well, I think Sabrina should have been the one to tell in that scenario. Donovan really didn't have a choice because he did not want to do anything that would damage his rapport, his relationship with Demetrius. Yeah, they're in a reality-based TV show, and the objective is to find love, so forth and so on. I get that part of it. But at the same time, there's no reason for them to be hostile towards one another. Why not tell them? Especially once you see how she's moving.
Right, and it's because her movements were discovered, was now on damage control.
Right.
She did
Damage
no
control
longer
mode.
wanted to meet with Demetrius, and he would have known who she is, and she probably was expecting him to cut her, so that's why she cut him
first.
loose.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's how she rolled.
Yeah. I don't like the way she's been
Miss
moving.
Red Flags.
Don't. Yeah.
And she takes no accountability for her own behavior.
No, she finger points at other people. Though.
Right. And added to that, she when asked about the kiss, she said that, oh, I should have told Demetrius, I should have not kissed him. But it was a good kiss though.
But not worth the trouble.
Why? But not worth the trouble. Why would you say that? What kind of female is this? But it was a good kiss though.
But it wasn't worth the trouble.
But it wasn't worth the trouble.
Well, that's kind of revealing right then and there about what kind of person she is.
And also, she was the one who said after 3 drinks she would sleep with Donovan.
Exactly. She probably would.
It seemed like nobody knows what to say and what not to say. Maybe that could be a show. What to say and
what not to damn say. Right. How to act, how not to act,
Woo! That's where the drama was between them. And then, unfortunately, Sabrina tried to push Donovan under the bus when she brings in that story about he wanted to get with Joy if he was, had joined the show in the beginning. But that was a distraction. That was nonsense.
To get the heat off of her. She was feeling that heat. And I noticed that in her responses or cross-talks with pretty much everybody, she was interrupting them.
Talking fast and not saying anything. It's just a disruption. She's not listening at this point. She's
trying to get her point across.
But she had no point. She was exposed.
Well, she obviously felt like she did, because she tried her best to expound upon things that she had to say as often as she could.
Well, all that was showing how rancid her actions have been.
I agree.
That's what that's showing.
I agree. I agree.
Because we know, based on watching this, that she's friends with Dekia and Precious. And Donovan had to say, after she said that mess about Joy, which has nothing to do with what they're talking about, Dekia piped in that, Donovan told her that. And then Precious, who was not even there at the time, she was long gone. So that's why he said the Golden Girls has no accountability for what she does. She's reckless with people's emotions and feelings.
And when you combine that with the fact that she's constantly moving the goalposts in terms of what she's to act a certain way, in terms of moving forward, in terms of a relationship, she got to understand that there are a lot of guys I don't think would be signed up for that. From my end, as it relates to Sabrina, and I'm just talking about her behavior, it seems just disingenuous and it seems fraudulent.
Yes. And that's what you come away with, because you really can't trust what's coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, and like I said, there are guys who are not really going to sign up for that if they're really in search of something significant or meaningful. Maybe there are some that would, but I don't think most guys would.
Well, perhaps we can only hope that people now know who she really is, that she could switch that up.
Yeah.
Because you could decide to move in a different way that's not so reckless with other people's feelings.
Exactly.
Because quiet as it's kept, people who are reckless with others, other people are reckless with them as well.
Vicious circle that comes back around to you, doesn't it?
And Karma don't take any prisoners. She coming and she coming hard.
Yeah.
Like that sleep monkey you always look.
Knock me out every night, y'all, and I can't fight him off for nothing. I try. When I get tired,
a losing battle.
Hits me with the uppercuts, the overhand, all of that, y'all. I can't fight him off.
Out.
Anyway.
Please send us your comments. Please subscribe, like, and you can share us with other people. Thank you. We're grateful to you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.